In the endless game of attraction, words are far more powerful than any gesture or superficial compliment. Niccolò Machiavelli, the master of political strategy and psychological manipulation, understood that true control is gained not through dominance of force but through mastery of the mind. The battlefield is never physical. It is mental, emotional, and deeply psychological. If you desire to captivate a woman, to penetrate her mind, and leave her powerless under your spell, you must wield the most effective weapon of all: questions. But not just any questions, the kind that unravel certainty, expose hidden truths, and stir a tempest in her thoughts. These 10 questions are designed precisely for that, to make a woman think about you endlessly, to unsettle her, and to awaken an obsessive need to reveal herself, while simultaneously trying to guard her secrets. Each question acts as a psychological trap, carefully placed to provoke curiosity, vulnerability, and emotional dependence. Question 1. What do you really want when no one is watching? This question is a dagger cloaked in velvet. It forces her to confront the most secret parts of herself, the desires she dares not speak aloud, even to her closest friends. Notice the emphasis on "when no one is watching." It implies a privacy and honesty that is rare in the social world, suggesting you want to see her in a way no one else does. When you ask this, watch her closely. Her mind will race, caught between the desire to impress you with a safe answer and the temptation to reveal something raw, authentic, even taboo. She may hesitate, falter, or struggle to articulate her real desires, and that hesitation is the crack you exploit. This question injects doubt and curiosity into her mind. She will spend hours after your conversation replaying it, wondering what answer you expected, whether she said too much or too little, and most importantly, what you really want from her. Question 2. If you could change one thing about me, what would it be? Few questions challenge a woman as directly as this one. It flips the script. She becomes the judge, and you the subject of scrutiny. Her response reveals her perceptions, expectations, and the subtle criteria by which she weighs your value. It also tests her courage. Will she be honest, exposing a truth that might offend? Or will she protect your ego, offering a vague or flattering answer? Her reaction to your response is the moment of truth. If you respond defensively, you lose power. If you respond with calm acceptance, perhaps even amusement, you demonstrate confidence that destabilizes her own emotional armor. This question triggers an internal dialogue within her. Does he really want to improve? Or is he baiting me? Your mastery lies in holding your composure and reading her subtle cues while planting seeds of intrigue. Question 3. What's the one thing no one else knows about you? Secrets are the currency of intimacy, and by asking this question, you invite her into a dangerous yet irresistible game, the game of trust and vulnerability. Few men dare to ask this, even fewer can handle the answers. When she shares a secret, she is revealing a piece of her soul, something vulnerable and precious. You become the only man who holds this knowledge, which creates an invisible bond and elevates your status beyond that of a casual acquaintance. But beware. Revealing a secret is also a test. If you respond poorly, betray her confidence, or appear judgmental, you break the fragile thread you just gained. Your power depends on your ability to hold this secret space with respect and quiet authority. Question 4. Have you ever been truly afraid of losing someone? Why? Fear is the primal emotion that shapes attachment and desire. By asking this, you force her to confront the ghost of loss, pain, and vulnerability. Her answer reveals how deeply she forms attachments and how much emotional risk she is willing to take. This knowledge is invaluable. It allows you to navigate her emotional landscape with precision, knowing exactly where to push and where to retreat. This question also creates emotional intimacy. It taps into the human need for safety and belonging. Emotions she may not reveal to many. You become not just a man, but a refuge, a source of strength she unconsciously depends on. Question 5. What do you think about when you're alone at night? The solitude of night strips away all pretense. This question invites her into her most private thoughts, the dreams, regrets, fears, and fantasies that only surface when the world sleeps. When she answers, you gain rare insight into her subconscious mind. What haunts her? What excites her? What pains her? Sharing these thoughts is a form of psychological surrender. You become entwined with her internal world, an intimacy few men achieve. The impact of this question lingers, drawing her back to you again and again. Question 6. Do you believe people change, or do they only reveal who they really are over time? This philosophical question forces her to take a stance on human nature, trust, and growth. Her answer reveals much about her worldview and how she processes betrayal and loyalty. A hopeful answer suggests she believes in transformation and redemption. A cynical answer implies she sees people as fixed and unchanging. By understanding this, you can tailor your behavior and narrative to fit the role she expects, the reliable constant or the thrilling unknown. This alignment deepens her psychological investment in you. Question 7. What's your greatest weakness, and have you ever tried to overcome it? Asking this is a subtle test of her self-awareness and courage. Those who answer honestly demonstrate humility and strength. Those who evade reveal insecurities and ego defenses. Your response to her answer, whether you challenge her, encourage growth, or simply accept, shapes her perception of you as a leader or an equal. It also plants the idea that growth is necessary, positioning you as the catalyst for transformation. Question 8. If you could live one day in someone else's shoes, whose would it be and why? This question uncovers her deepest aspirations and unspoken desires. Her choice reveals who she admires, envies, or longs to become. It also shows the gaps she feels in her own identity. By understanding these desires, you gain a map of her emotional landscape, the perfect guide to positioning yourself as the man who can fulfill those dreams or ease those fears. Question 9. What's the most dangerous thing you've ever done? Danger awakens the primal instincts of thrill and excitement. When she recounts her boldest moment, she taps into a memory charged with adrenaline and rebellion. By associating yourself with this energy, you become linked to her sense of vitality and risk, a connection far more potent than simple attraction. Question 10. If you had to choose between love and freedom, which would you pick, and why? The ultimate question, a crossroads where heart and mind collide. Her answer exposes her deepest fears about attachment and independence. By asking this, you assert your role as the gatekeeper of her emotional choices, the one who controls the balance between connection and autonomy. The true art lies not just in the questions themselves, but in their delivery, in the pause before you ask, the tone you use, the gaze you fix. Ask too bluntly, and you appear invasive. Too softly, and you lose impact. Too soon, and you scare her away. Too late, and the moment passes. When delivered with cold confidence, subtle challenge, and a hint of mystery, these questions become irresistible psychological traps. They ignite a whirlwind in her mind that she cannot escape, a mental dance where she chases answers, and you control the rhythm. Example scenario, deploying question 1. Imagine you're sitting across from her in a dimly lit cafe. The conversation has flowed freely, and a comfortable silence settles. You lean in slightly, lower your voice just enough, and ask, "What do you really want?" When no one is watching. Her eyes flicker with surprise and intrigue. You watch as her mind races. Part of her wants to deflect, another part wants to confess. The moment you ask, you have stepped beyond the superficial. You have crossed into her inner world. That question will echo in her thoughts long after you leave, pulling her back mentally, addicted to the challenge you just planted. Questions are not merely tools of communication. They are the keys to influence, desire, and control. In the game of attraction, mastering the art of the question places you in the driver's seat. Use these 10 questions with patience, precision, and psychological finesse. Watch as a woman's mind turns wild with curiosity, longing, and subtle submission. This is the power of Machiavellian mastery, the power to drive a woman crazy, with nothing but your words.